Welcome to the Solo Salon Owner Podcast. This content is intended for salon professionals and may contain industry info that clients don't always want to hear, especially when it is regarding client drama. Thanks, and enjoy with a grain of salt. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're listening to this podcast, and welcome to the Solo Salon Owner Podcast. I am choosing today to talk about salon drama. Yay, finally, salon drama. Why am I choosing this topic today? Well, this is my third episode of a podcast that I started because I want to grow my business beyond the table, beyond the chair, and venture into continuing education. That being said, again, this is my third episode and I already have a hater. That's right, people. I'm already getting hate mail. I don't even have more than like 15 or 20 people listening at this point. So, what qualifies me to do a podcast? That's what my hater wants to know. Nothing qualifies me. I took a continuing education course and I'm working with a mentor on growing a online platform where I can educate and build my business. My background is nails. I'm a nail tech and I have been a nail tech for 19 years now. And in that 19 years, I've done and seen it all. I have been an employee. I've been a booth renter. I've been a booth renter by myself. I've been a booth renter with 4 employees with me that I have managed and helped along the way. I hope I helped them along the way. And then I went back to being a solo salon owner in a studio. And in that 19 years, not only have I done nails, but I've educated with one of the top industry companies that's well known in the industry. That's going to remain unnamed in this podcast, but it was an eye-opening experience. I learned a lot. I was grateful for that education. And if anything, they taught me that you can never have enough education. So by doing a podcast, I can share my knowledge and my experiences of 19 years, which I feel makes me a semi-expert in the beauty business. Now, nails, you're thinking nails, nail salons. People don't take us seriously because of the, I would say, stigma of nail salons that runs rampant in the United States and pretty much all over the world. There's good nail salons and there's bad nail salons. And if you've had a good nail salon and a good nail tech, you know what you're missing when you have to move or they retire and you have to find another nail tech. It's like changing a doctor. If you've never had that experience, you've never found a good nail tech. So that's the first thing that I can tell you in my salon drama episode. So that's my experience to explain to my hater how I'm qualified. Why a podcast? Because I talk all day long. I talk to everybody. I talk to at least 5 to 6 clients a day, 10 hours on end. And a lot of my clients, with the experiences and the tons of salon drama that I've had, tons of salon drama. Some of my clients are like, you should write a book. I don't have time for that. So let me talk into my little microphone and make a podcast. That'll be my book. Maybe it'll get transcribed someday. And all the salon drama episodes will be put into one. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that is why I've chosen to start a podcast. It is my growth into educating other beauty professionals and other nail techs on how to be successful. And I don't consider myself mega successful. However, I do consider myself not the worst nail tech. And I have a book that is 90% booked. I'm working 45 hours a week on average. I think that spells some success. I'm at the higher end of the price range because of the skill and products that I have here in my studio. So, anyway, that's all about me, which is what Salon Drama is all about, isn't it? It's all about us. It's all about clients, the self-centeredness of this ugly beauty business. When we're in nail school and hair school and all those things, you know, they talk about how to be professional in a salon environment. And Salon 101, you shouldn't talk about politics, religion, or sex. Well, clients love to hear and to talk about politics, religion, and sex. It's the three top topics of the salon. So it's kind of funny that those taboo subjects we're not supposed to talk about are what everyone wants to talk about, right? Here's the problem. The problem is, as people, I would say 50% of the people love the gossip and the drama. They love to hear what the latest story is, whether it's about your kids, your dog, or the salon environment. And they want to know what everyone else in the salon is doing. Or they're eavesdropping and the client in the next chair talking about her drama and her life. You know, they say it's the small-minded that want to talk about other people. And yes and no. It's human nature, I think. You always are keeping up with the Joneses, keeping up with the Kardashians, you know, reality. Reality that's not reality. Because everything's exaggerated when it comes to salon drama. However, what happens when it crosses the line? Where do you try as a beauty professional to steer the conversation in another direction? That's the challenge. Because when you're in a salon environment, if you are in a situation where you are surrounded by other people, everybody can hear what you're talking about. Subjects can be sensitive. You never know who's listening. Staff and other clients might chime in on your conversation, and you don't want them to chime in on your conversation. Someone might be bitching and complaining about their kids and husband, and there might be another client in there that's in the middle of a divorce or that's trying to get pregnant and can't have kids. And so for the person who's complaining and chatting, it's upsetting to them. There might be, well, there always is, people who don't agree politically. Politics in the salon, especially in our current environment, is such a big no-no because everyone has an opinion. Same thing with religion. Whether you follow a religion or whether you don't follow a religion, everyone has a stand. They all have an opinion. You never know who's listening. And then when they leave the salon, they'll be like, oh, I am never going back there. I can't believe what this person said after I talked about my certain political view and they totally ripped it to shreds. It's hard. It's hard because we believe these things at our core, and so I am known to be the queen of eye rolling. Like literally, I could eye roll so hard it might make me fall out of my chair. You know what I'm talking about. You know you do it too. Conversations, though, in a salon, if the salon as a rule has a let's not talk about these things, you need to just take the client's hand or lightly tap them on their shoulder and be like, this is not the conversation for this time and place. And sometimes they just keep wanting to keep on, and I always just let them go until it comes to a point where it's uncomfortable. And if I don't speak or respond, usually the conversation does turn. You can only redirect so many times. Some people don't understand redirection. They don't take it well. And they're just going to say what they want to say. One thing I have found is that the salons that I've worked in that serve alcohol make this situation 10 times worse. Salons that offer a complimentary glass of wine, it's supposed to be like a small 6-ounce glass of wine, not an entire tumbler, which equals half a bottle in a glass of wine for a client. Because what happens is then clients are like, well, if that's all you're going to serve me, I'm going to bring my own. And then they get lit at the salon, and you have to call their husband or someone else to come pick them up. And usually it's because they're misbehaving and the conversation or activities have gotten out of control, and it gets loud and obnoxious, and it disturbs everyone around them. That's never a good scene. That's one of the reasons why I stopped serving wine, was because I had a couple of clients that were like, well, just a little bit more is not going to hurt anyone. And I'm thinking, you just came from work, you haven't eaten, you want more wine, and I'm going to let you into rush hour traffic. I don't think so, Karen. Let's turn this around. So that's a whole issue. Redirecting clients. Another salon drama happens between staff. Oh, staff drama. There's always talking about people behind other people's backs. There's always opinions. There's always the person that likes to stir the pot, talks to everybody until it explodes and blows up into this huge thing that is unnecessary. And then people are verbally attacked and it goes down ugly. Work drama, toxic environments, the backroom talk. You know it's time to leave when it starts either involving you or being aimed at you. I worked in an environment where the back room was extremely accessible to where I was working, and all the backroom talk could be heard by my clients. It was uncomfortable, to say the least, because the second their clients walked out the door, they went into the back room and complained about them or talked about them. My client, listening to that, will never go to anyone else for services when they hear that that's how they're talked about as soon as they leave. My client listens to that and thinks, well, what did they say about me when I'm gone? If you're going to have backroom talk, make sure your backroom isn't being heard by everyone in the salon. It's so unprofessional. And if you're going to drink in the back room, whether you're on the clock or off the clock, yes, I said whether you're on the clock or off the clock, close the door to the back room so no one can see that you're cracking open a cold one at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when your shift doesn't end till 9. It's never good. I've worked in multiple salons that had this issue. Salon drama. There's really nothing that you can do about it if it's something you're not partaking in, if it's something you don't believe in, except working your own little corner and making your exit. When environments are that toxic that they're always negative or always gossipy, it makes it extremely hard to stay out of it. It makes it extremely hard to not have an opinion, and it makes it extremely hard for you to not look negatively on the people you're working with. In those situations, the second you feel uncomfortable, if you address it with the salon owner and it's not taken care of or addressed or any effort is made, that environment is toxic and it's time to leave. It's hard because I would say 25% of salon employees, salon renters, we don't want to be involved with that. And if you're a salon owner and you're listening to this podcast, sometimes you need to step back and take a look at your salon and employees from a different perspective. And that's hard because you're usually very friendly with these people. It's not just a salon owner versus salon employee. They're your peers. You're helping them out. You usually generally like them. You usually are friendly with them. But if you've created this toxic environment or you've ignored it to the point where it's gone on so long that you can't reverse it, that's a problem. It's a problem because it's going to continue to grow, and it's a problem because eventually it's going to catch up with you. Whether you have someone screaming at you in your salon because of something they just overheard in the back room, or whether you have two clients that start a fight in the middle of the salon, or whether they leave you a score of nasty reviews. I've seen all three situations in places that I've worked. Professionalism is what people want. And I left a couple of toxic environments due to lack of professionalism. And the one was a multi-million-dollar spa that was gorgeous, that was being run into the ground by the crazy owner and the daughters that were running it because they didn't treat people well. They treated people like robots and let the environment get so toxic that every department was fighting within itself. And the negativity, oh my gosh, it just grows and grows and grows. Salon drama needs to be handled the second it starts. Whether it's clients, whether it's employees, whether it's renters. Again, I always talk about boundaries. Everyone stepping through your door needs to know your boundaries and expectations. I currently work in a salon suite, and it's by Salons by JC. I will tell you that it is a great experience I've had in the last little over a year or so, because I am by myself, which at times when there's nobody in my suite, it can be a little lonely. However, it is not involving the drama that's happening in the other rooms. Everyone has their own time to themselves. They can treat it how they want to be treated. I know which clients I can carry on with and which clients I can't. I know which topics I can talk about with certain people and which clients I can't. And sometimes I misjudge, and sometimes we definitely take it too far. But since I'm by myself, we can talk about politics, religion, and sex because it's just the two of us. And even then, sometimes it gets uncomfortable and I stop responding and we switch the conversation. Um, in the salon suite environment, this particular environment, there was a contract with expected boundaries and what will and will not be tolerated. It was exactly what I was looking for: the professionalism, the cleanliness, how it's run. It's like clockwork and it's fabulous. It makes it so much easier. I don't dread coming to work because I have no idea what's going to be waiting for me that day. And if there is drama in other salon suites, I would say, unless it's my neighbors, I don't know about it. And even when there was drama with my neighbors, it was handled swiftly, quickly, and very professionally. So, when it comes to salon drama, you know, we have reputations to uphold. We have people that come to us for different reasons. They like our personality. They like what we do for them. They like how they make us, we make them feel. Let's keep it professional. I am going to tell you a quick story because it's already hitting the 20-minute mark here. I'm going to give you the salon drama. Are you ready? So I worked at a salon. I had left one toxic environment where the owner had flat out lied to me. And even though it was a beautiful little nail boutique, there were some questionable things going on that I did not agree with. And she brought me in because I was doing a project with a professional magazine, and then she changed her mind that she didn't want to be involved because, God forbid, I talk about my experience with her salon. God forbid it was anything negative. So that was a whole nother salon drama. And then I ended up going to another salon where 3 months in, I went to the big nail show, the premiere show in Orlando. And I've been doing nails for, 5 or 6 years at this point. I was working by myself. I was the only nail tech in this hair salon. It was a fabulous downtown location. It had a good reputation. I dropped quite a bit of money at the nail show, thinking that this was my forever home. Came back and I was working on a Monday, which was a quiet day in the salon. There might be one or two straggler hairdressers, but it was a quiet day. And I didn't really notice anything different when I walked in the salon. Nobody was there yet. Went, did my own thing, came out, and I was like, it seems something's off in here. Like something, I just couldn't put my finger on it. At the end of the day, the hairdresser that came into work, there was only one that day. And he goes, "So did you hear what happened while you were gone?" And I said, "No, what happened?" He said, "Well, one of the business partners left and took half the staff." What? He's like, "Yeah, they opened a new salon down the street and the two business owners are currently fighting." I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's terrible. What's going to happen?" The salon owner had never contacted me. I had no idea what I was walking into. So we had a small discussion, but I was told, don't worry. It's all good. I'm going to hire other stylists. I'll be the only owner here. It'll be great. So I continued working there. Probably about another 2 or 3 months goes by. I took a weekend off. I come back. Again, it's a Monday. I should never worked Mondays in this place. Anyway, I see all these messages all over the desk. And same hairdresser comes in and he goes, so have you talked to so and so? I said, no, why? What's going on? Oh, well, the owner was taken away in a police car at the end of business Saturday because she had been drinking all day and was cutting people's hair. What? Yeah, she had a choice to either have charges pressed against her or to go to rehab. Don't know what's going to happen. No one has been in contact with me. And I just could not believe what I was hearing. This woman was day drinking at her place of employment because it wasn't going well. She was unable to hire other stylists. She had a very abrasive personality, and it's probably because she was drinking at work. I didn't know she was drinking at work, but she was much jollier at the end of the day than she was at the beginning. Well, her husband and daughter contacted me and said, don't worry, we'll handle all of the messages and all this other stuff. About 3 weeks goes by and I'm sitting up front waiting for my clients. They were taking my rent money and I was continuing to work, and all the stylists that were employed there were nervously continuing to work but looking for other places. And this man shows up and asks for the owner. And I said, I'm sorry, she's not available. Can I leave her a message? And he said, well, I've left several messages. And he looked at me and the two other hairstylists that were working that day, and he said, but I'm here to permanently lock your doors. What? Well, one of the hairstylists started to cry. And the looks on our faces made this man uncomfortable. And he said, the rent's not been paid, and there's been a number of notices. Well, we had all been paying this woman rent, and she had not bothered to forward it to the landlord. So then I think we all started crying, and the guy felt so bad, and he said, look, when can we expect her back? And we all had no idea. Like, literally no one was contacting us about anything. Everything was up in the air. He let us hand him some money, which was our rent for the week. And he said, I will come by every week for the next 4 weeks. And if you'll pay me your rent directly, I'll keep your doors open, but you have 30 days. And that was the end of that. It was probably one of the worst salon experiences of my life because it was just one gut blow after another gut blow. And like to be just blindsided by all these things. I held out to the end. I moved that last week, but it was a pain in the butt. And it was embarrassing to have to explain it to clients. And you have to explain that to clients because they come in and they notice, why are their chairs missing? There used to be 10 stylists and now there's 2. What's going on? Yeah, so that was my biggest salon drama so far that I've experienced. There's been a ton. But when situations like that happen that are out of your control, I can tell the story now and laugh, but at the time, my anxiety, my sleeplessness, my not being able to focus on work, I'm sure I did not provide good services during that time. I'm sure that the nails I did were absolutely horrendous because it was not what I was focused on. And that's the thing about salon drama. It takes your focus away from what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to come in, provide people with a service, make them feel good about themselves. They are the queen in your chair. They are providing your paycheck. All that salon drama is just noise. You have to learn, unfortunately, in this business how to control the noise and how much noise you're willing to accept. I've been in this business 19 years. There's been a lot of noise. I am at peace working by myself. My clients and I can talk about whatever we want for the most part. But I am at the point where, like other people's children, I cannot tolerate other people's clients. I cannot tolerate other beauty professionals just listening to the cringeworthy stuff that goes on around me. It makes my head swim. So, during this whole pandemic and all these political things, salons are closing left and right. It's not always because they're not making money. It's not always because they're mismanaged. It's because of the toxic environment and the mass amount of people who would rather work at their home or work in a salon studio so they can control their environment. If you're a salon owner and you're looking for employees, I wish you all the best, but you have to be ultra professional with a great location and a great business that supports you, because you think you're interviewing employees, but the employees are really interviewing you. Employees can leave at any time. They'll know within a week whether that environment is toxic. There's a lot of opportunity for people to move in this business, and that's why I think it seems like it's a very fickle business sometimes. I have clients who are like, oh, my hairdresser's moving again. I'm like, oh, it's terrible. Where are they going this time? What's the deal? Even myself, since moving to North Carolina, I can't even tell you how many salons I've been. I've been from one end of the county to the other. Some were very short-lived, a year or less. And one spot I was in for 6 years, and it was great until it wasn't, until it was toxic. Things change in this business, and you either have to learn how to grow and go with the flow, or you're going to drown. And it's unfortunate because there's a need for our business. There's a need for beauty services. It's more than just self-care. It's for people's mental health. But if the environment is toxic and there's a lot of salon drama, it hurts everybody's mental health. So that's what I've got to say about that. If you have salon drama you don't know how to deal with, if you don't know how to set boundaries with your clients or employees or your renters, tell me. Let's chat. Do you have a salon drama story that you want to share? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to have a segment on the podcast where we talk about other people's salon drama and how it was handled and what could have been done differently. I hope you found this episode to be a little entertaining, besides the fact that my one bit of salon drama was just so ridiculous and avoidable. But I wanted to make it work so badly at that location. I really did. If I could have afforded to take over that salon, I probably would have, and I probably would still be there. It was a great location. It was a great little spot. But it did not work out that way. And everybody's journey happens for a reason. I totally believe in fate. And, the one thing about salon drama that I can say is you learn what not to do. Every time I've had salon drama, I've taken note to make sure that it's never happened to me that way again. Boundaries are so important. If you're new in this business, don't let people walk all over you. Have a set schedule. have boundaries, know how to provide great customer service. Your client is your queen. She is the one in the chair. She is your focus. Don't pay attention to the noise. Have a great week, you guys. I'll talk to you next time.